Hello my friends, and welcome to Modification Monday, where I give you some ideas, some tips and ideas for your yoga practice. So today, this morning I was doing the receiving pose on my Instagram post and looking at growing the back bend from the front. I had a question on YouTube from David about Vajrasana, the Thunderbolt pose, which is also a back bend, so I thought, well, incorporate the two, and this video hopefully helping some of you. So the first thing that most people find difficult with Thunderbolt, and David included, is the ankles. So when we're sitting in Thunderbolt, either with feet underneath or out a little, which can be problematic for the knees, so choose which variation, and you can use a block to sit up a little bit, but you can see the feet are in that full extension there on the tops of the feet, so that can be quite tricky for you. So it might be that you just a simple modification here and use a rolled up blanket at any level under your feet. So I'll just move the block out of the way. So it may be that you raise the ankles so there's less of an angle there. So that might be an option for you. You see that? So the foot is slightly raised over, so there's less angle on the tops of the foot. Okay, on the top of the feet. All right, so you might try that as your Vajrasana example. You could also just start on some simple work with the feet. So having a seat for a little while in Vajrasana, in this way, crossing the feet over, sitting down, and then swapping over, sitting down, working your way just at points to get to this level. You can also try padding your blanket underneath. That sometimes takes a little bit of the pressure off on the circulation if you're ending up feeling like you're cutting off circulation and getting pins and needles in the feet. So that might be going on for you. So that's some ideas for feet, and of course you can work with your feet in a squat. It's really good for the ankles to get a little bit more stretch and strength in there. So we're going to look at Vajrasana as a back bend supported. So I've got blocks and bricks, which you may not have, so kind of you could use books, stack up books, and we're making this little tower, and then I've got this, which is a bolster, but you don't need this. So you can use your mat rolled up, or a couple of mats, or some cushions. What you want to create is a support for your back. So it might be that you have to build up this area that I've got a bit of a gap there, ready for your back bend. It's important to remember that back bends, we want to think about lengthening and opening through the front of the body. So the first part is to get into the foundation, into the pelvis, and open up along the hip flexors and down into the thighs. So it may be that you just work on your back bends, very supported, and lengthening through, so tucking the tailbone under and lifting through to the heart space, and just kind of growing your back bend steadily without over forcing, and checking with your neck and how that feels, because you may not want to take that all the way down. And over time, just spending a few breaths in that pose, you may be able to come down lower and lower until you're on the block or the bolster or your mat, and you're supported, keeping the tailbone tucking under so you can feel lengthening down the front of the hips. So you may be able to take the head right back. If this feels a little bit too much, then grab yourself extra support and give that a little ease as you go into the pose. So you could stay here. This is a restorative pose. You could stay here for a couple of minutes, kind of easing in and getting into that back bend, and as I say, growing it from the heart space up. So working with that modification, and over time maybe lowering down, taking your block support lower, and then lower, and eventually maybe to the floor. So that can be quite a way off, so just be patient with yourself, don't force it. Work with other poses to balance out, and enjoy your back bending, opening the heart.